Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ZSR and welcome to the Wind Waker HD Randomizer Tournament. It's Season 1, it's lower bracket finals, it's Game 1, and we'll find out who will make it to the Grand Finals. Will it be mralberto23 or ChromaQ? We're not entirely sure if Game 2 is going to have a restream. We'll see about that, but for now, let's head into the action with our double whammy duo of Insomnatrix and Mercury HD doing comms and tracking. Take it away, it's all yours.
Hey, this is definitely going to be a very interesting seed to watch, because Mr. Alberto, you probably know who he is if you're here. If you don't, he's currently #1 in every single speedrun category for this game. So he has a place here, and he's going to show why he has it. Chroma, on the other hand, he's been around for a very long time on the randomizer, I think. Sorry. But he's got the skill to show how the randomizer works. He started with rando and went to speedrunning later, actually, which is opposed to Alberto, who started with speedrunning and went to the randomizer.
So we're gonna basically kind of like see a clash of like different playstyle approaches here. Like you said, Mr. Alberto is a titan in the speedrunning community for the vanilla game, but Chroma is definitely a force to be reckoned with, so this is gonna be a very cool match, I think. So we see Mr. Alberto still loading in. Chroma, his file name says please, I love it. He's drafting up his new save file. Pretty soon we'll see that countdown for the run to start.
Always one of my favorite things is how everyone does these completely different file names and such. For example, Alberto versus... I think it was Alberto. It was either Alberto or Joash versus Loudscapes. Loudscapes usually names his files Loud, so his opponent named their file Quiet.
Yeah, there's a lot of friendly banter that goes on in the community. It's a very tight-knit group, the HD Randomizer speedrunning group here. Yeah.
We have Alberto trying to put GL Chroma.
Nice, of course.
Timer is starting.
Oh yeah, there we go.
It's gonna be something.
And we're off. So let's check out these hints here. Is that a 2i reef start? It could be
I don't think it's
early
2i.
Octo.
Okay, DRI to Goma, DRI to Godan, DRC to Mulgara. That is a very interesting combination of dungeons.
Paw Print Foolish takes a lot out of Spear Zero here.
Bow at Windfall, that could be Sphere Zero. That could be pretty big.
Yeah, especially considering runners of these of this caliber are typically clearing Windfall, like at least half of Windfall on their first visit.
Yeah. Wallet not required from Hosket's girlfriend.
Nice. It may still be required to bring spoils to Hosket himself, but then at least you don't have to follow up with the mail.
Yeah, that's the thing with Hosket. Yeah, oh no, this
was a 2i.
2i. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see either runner skipping the Big Octo at this point. It's just too convenient.
Yeah. Especially because 2i is generally really hard to route in otherwise.
I think it depends. It can be awkward to route in, but when you factor super swimming in, especially if headstone is around or outset, you can usually swim to the shore of 2i Reef and then save warp to get your boat.
That's true.
Looks like Chroma finished his hints a little sooner, so he's gonna be finishing up, and we'll actually get an extra hint from 2i Reef check. It's nice to have early on in the run, is an extra hint or so.
But first, we get to find out what the item itself is. Out of the gate, we are looking at a treasure chart. Oh, hammer at Ice Ring.
Nice.
That could go either way. If they find fire and ice really quick, that could be a really nice hint. Otherwise, that could be disastrous.
Yeah, and I think like Chroma, we see him going straight to Dragon Roost. Like, of course, the island is just so stacked. We're just gonna have to see if Alberto decides to do the same. I think Alberto's actually opting to maybe check Angular Isles since it's right here. Kind of trying to avoid that awkward overworld routing, like you mentioned earlier.
Roma not quite close enough to the statue to get the cutscene, unfortunately.
Yeah, turns out when you try to play as fast as possible, sometimes you make tiny little optimization errors.
Piece of heart.
And that is a dud. But unless the hinted item is on Hoskit, Chroma will definitely be finding something useful before he leaves here.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Alberto is going to go check the cave. We'll see if he finds a spiky chest. He won't be able to do anything about it just yet, but he'll at least know whether he's going to need a second visit. It is a spiked chest,
Beetle.
so...
And Beetle 20 rupees is Iron Boots.
Okay, so that combined with the knowledge of Skullhammer on Ice Ring means that we're probably seeing Wind Temple as our third dungeon, if I had to guess. Because he's going to need at least 2 bows.
Uh-oh.
Oh, getting a little bit of a... Alright, looks like we're back again. Alberto finally coming to Dragon Roost. Maybe a little bit behind on items, but ahead on info. Oh, looks like Chroma cut out for a bit. Okay, so it looks like
Chroma
he
cut
stored...
out for a minute, and I think I need to reload the page.
Well, he's back on my end. I'll explain what's going on. So Chroma grabbed storage from the boulder chest on Dragon Roost, and he is now taking that storage, probably to start doing some save scumming around the overworld, maybe check some of the fairy fountains. Yeah, he's going to Thorn Ferry right now. Now, if you have storage, you can do this neat little thing where you can walk very slowly into the wall, and you can just go right through. It's actually a neat little trick that I just recently learned how to do myself, and I must say it's very satisfying.
It is a very fun thing to do, yes.
Yeah,
Alberto just picked up his Iron Boots.
Yeah. We're sharing the same brain cell, it would seem. We'll see if Alberto elects to... Interesting. Okay, so he clipped through... I couldn't quite tell through his stream, but it was hard to tell whether Fly Around Island was...
Alberto's got bombs. Oh, and so does Chroma.
Okay, so yeah, Chroma has bombs too. He already marked it.
Right.
But
I don't
Alberto
think Flycross was anything, because if it was, he would have taken storage up to it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But it was just hard to see that at the moment. But I think you're right. Having said that, now that both of them have bombs,
Oh,
that opens up
grappling hook.
a couple of things. Oh, nice grappling
So,
hook.
so that's DRC theoretically open.
Yeah, that would be like a forwards DRC.
So the thing with zooming around with the boomerang is because of a very small oversight in the game's code when they implemented the ability to move around while aiming first-person items. If you pause holding a direction, hold very slightly in the opposite direction when you're paused, and then unpause, you will gain a lot of speed. And you can abuse this to clip through walls, to swim around islands all the time, and you will see these runners doing super swims constantly.
Yeah, especially in these season 1 settings, it's very super swim focused. There have been experimental season 2 settings in the works. We've found that swimming is a little less prominent. There's a command melody for Alberto, who very wisely jumped right into Dragon Roost Cavern as soon as he got that grappling hook, because he knows he has a full clear, even with a forward route. A lot of runners would prefer... Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, I think what's happening here is Chroma went to Windfall instead, not because he wants to check Windfall, but because he's hoping to find that bow so he can do Dragon Roost backwards.
Exactly. And see, this is where that difference in approach comes into play, because like you said, Alberto comes from vanilla, so normally you would not have the bow doing this dungeon, so Alberto is very comfortable playing the dungeon forwards. However, in the randomizer, if you have a bow, it is possible to shoot down the platform that is right above Alberto now, and you can do the dungeon backwards, essentially, which actually saves the time of checking several of the chests, since you don't need as many keys doing it that way. And so a lot of randomizers like to do it that way.
Alberto, with the little micro optimizations, with the 1 frame window to let go of the grappling hook on the big key check door.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty easy one to go for, though. You can actually just mash to get it.
I've never got it.
So it's kind of just luck at that point, but he picks up his spoils bag. Chroma, in the meanwhile, is still looking for his bow. He's still looking for a bow. Yes.
I've just noticed.
It looks like he did pick up hookshot at some point.
Yeah, he picked up hookshot. Speaking of looks like, Alberto never marked off that he has command melody.
Well, so I think Alberto's trying to optimize a little too hard and slipping up a bit. Yeah, he may not have marked off command melody simply because he just doesn't need it. But on
a Wind Temple seed, yes, you do.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it is a little strange that on a Wind Temple seed he wouldn't have. He might just be so locked in at the moment, trying to just get through this dungeon as quickly as possible.
Having done one of my personal favorite bugs in the rando, called Lenzo Clip, using item sliding, you can clip through the back of Lenzo's roof and get into his attic without having to show him the Picto Box, and it pays off pretty heartily for him. A Triforce Shard and a bow.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna see Chroma go into Dragon Roost very soon. Yeah, he's got his grappling hook out. I think he's ready to start the dungeon as well. However, we'll just have to see if that... Oh, I guess he's gonna do Northern Ferry first. That makes sense. It's right there.
It's right
and then he
there.
can just warp to Dragon Roost.
Chroma is always very insistent. Whenever I hear him talking about routing, he's always very insistent about making sure that you use your warps as effectively as possible.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with him because like save warping and like Bout of Gale's warping, it's time consuming. Alberto picks up a Master Sword here. But yeah, each of those things, it's time consuming, and every time you do it, it adds up. Like that's like at least like 20 to 40 seconds or so, depending on what it was. Those kind of things add up very quickly. Looks like Chroma's actually deciding to do more overworld.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Now he's lost me.
I mean, it's not this early in the run. I don't think it's crazy, but Dragon Roost was hinted twice, so I do think Alberto is actually cooking a little better here. Unless
was it Dragon Roost Cavern or Island?
Another shard. So
I think one of the hints was for Island and one of the hints was for Cavern.
I think it was 2 hints for Cavern and 1 for the Island. So I would say if you had a full clear on Dragon Roost, you should probably take it.
Yeah. Now we see him finally taking his DRI visit.
Yeah, and I was in the middle of saying before, Chroma is also up 2 shards, which could matter later. If Alberto ends up not checking the right overworld spots, that could be Chroma's opportunity to catch up. Meanwhile, Alberto is maybe 2/3 complete with this dungeon, and Chroma is just starting. So we'll see how much of a difference the backwards route. Oh, and he gets the clip. You can actually just YOLO an item slide to skip the block pushing puzzle, and Chroma actually nailed it. That's nice.
You see Chroma going for it every now and again, but it seems like a very inconsistent thing.
Chroma's got his command melody.
Do you have the path hints?
I don't yet. If you can handle comms for a moment, I can pull it up on my end.
Yeah, I can do that. So here we see Chroma going for backwards Dragon Roost, where you use the bow to shoot down the platform on that side of the room early, and from there you can do the rest of the dungeon in reverse order, which saves 1 small key. Though, it looks like he might have just given up on it. To be fair, sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, while I'm getting my hints here, it looks like Alberto's just about ready to tackle Goma. I'll wait for him to start the boss fight, and then I'll work on getting those hints.
Oh, leaf.
He finds his Deku Leaf, and then we'll see... I didn't see if he picked up the boss key. Okay, it looks like he did, otherwise he would be storing one of these chests. There's a Picto Box, too, which is actually going to make... Alberto's is he forgetting to grab the Knight's Crest? Or is he just anticipating grabbing one from Ice Ring? I suppose it has to be the latter, otherwise he just simply forgot.
Yeah, I could see it being either. I could see either he forgot or he's going for Ice Ring. Which isn't unreasonable,
Also,
but it's definitely easier to grab one from here.
Also, I definitely spoke too soon because I said that he was going to have to store a chest to skip the boss key, but I guess not. he just skips it anyway because he's because he's
never
Mr.
seen
Alberto.
the roll clip there.
Me neither, honestly. It's impressive. Alright, I'm gonna work on getting those hints, and we can kind of just watch Chroma while Alberto's finishing his boss fight.
Yep.
Oh, actually, I think you sent me the wrong seed, because I definitely am on the wrong starting island. Alright, well, I think it'd be easier to just use
Hold on.
like a highlight.
I'm pretty sure I sent you the right seed.
Okay.
You might not be on the right settings? No, if you pasted the permalink. That's weird. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that happened. Okay, well, either way, Alberto makes quick work of Goma. Yeah, and Chroma, he's just chugging his way through the backwards route here. It's nice to see forwards and backwards routes like side by side.
I will say, going forwards was actually, I feel, slightly more advantageous in this position because on the bird's nest is a sword, and Master Sword doubles your damage output.
That is true. However, the pot room is pretty much the only room that really requires combat. So I don't think the total time loss is very significant.
Yeah.
At this point, it's hard to say.
Leaf, by the way, was on the boss stairs. See Alberto immediately going for the full clear on DRI and getting delivery bag.
Gotcha.
Delivery bag could be any number of things. It could... Oh! Oh, you get scooped up by a platform. That is unfortunate.
Yeah. Alright. Take two. We'll see if he makes it. I guess he's trying to peek Crescent. He sees it's spiky and goes for it.
Yep, this was hook shot, I believe.
Having trouble getting around that chest for some reason.
Yeah, that was hook shot.
Okay, so there. Yes, he found his hook shot. Alberto's just looking for those fire arrows to make his way to Wind Temple at this point. And so is Chroma, but he is up a bow. And a shard at this point. And he'll be caught up with Leaf and Pictobox by the end of the dungeon. And Spoils Bag, too. I would be surprised if Chroma didn't take care of the Hosket check while he was there, same as Alberto. Alberto's looking to grab a Night Crest from a submarine. Interesting.
That's definitely not
I think he
the path I would take.
Yeah, I think he just realized that he forgot to grab one in DRC.
Hmm.
So, for those of you who don't know, the submarines are plandomized to always have a Knight's Crest as a failsafe for being able to easily get one in the event that you don't have Ice Ring or Tower of the Gods or Earth Temple on your seeds, like etc. etc.
Now we're going to see a minor hop from the submarine to Bomb Island.
How's Chroma doing? Looks like Chroma's opting to go for the storage route to skip the boss key.
It's definitely less
and
precise.
He gets it. Yeah, it is far less precise. It's very easy. Alberto with the slide over and over again. Very weird quirk about that slope there.
I don't understand why Simu does that sometimes. It just unloaded my controller preset again. Chroma going for the selfie with Goma while he waits.
I mean, what else are you gonna do, honestly? Just stare at the spot where he's gonna lower his tail, right?
Yeah.
And Alberto's going for the weird shot, the slide, and he gets it, and there's another bow. So as soon as he goes to Windfall, he's got access to Ice Ring. I think he knows, and he knows that, wow, the slide into the conversion to a super swim. Very impressive. Okay, it looks like he's going for, a nice little, peek up there. Without hammer, it's not really advisable to go for, the labyrinth in the Oasis, but perhaps he will after Ice Ring. You could skip Cabana Deed that way. That is not enough speed. It looks like he's going to try again. Chroma picking up his first dungeon clear. Alberto's making his way to... Okay, looks like it's Shark Island. He wants to take care of Cyclos.
Why is he at Shark Island? Cyclos was hinted dead, wasn't he?
I wonder, was he? That's a good point. Why is he here? He wants to swim from Shark Island?
That's...
Perhaps he realized he didn't have enough speed and figured this was faster than save warping? Cursed Seeds is when routing skills can become more advantageous than fast gameplay. Yeah, Jowry makes a good point. However, I'm not so sure I would consider this a Cursed Seed at the moment. Dragon Roost Island and Dragon Roost Cavern have been very generous with items. So perhaps we'll see the curse later when they struggle to find like their last sword or light arrows or something in Overworld, but of course that remains to be seen. Looks like Chroma's about to pick up his delivery bag. Doesn't do a whole lot just yet because nobody's found Cabana Deed or any letters.
With what he had... No, never mind. I was about to say with what he has, Chroma could theoretically skip Cabana Deed, but he would need Hammer for that. Well,
right,
you
that's
can
what I
skip
was saying
Hammer.
before.
You can skip Hammer, but it's not great.
Another sword for Alberto. We're actually seeing a new check from Chroma as well. A couple of checks with Cliff Plateau.
Yeah, Cliff Plateau is definitely a very fun strategy to get down.
Chroma tried a couple times to sword hop toward the chest so he can get storage and get his way through without lighting the wood on fire. We're likely going to see him... Yeah, he's going to go for storage to Bert's Peak Rock as well to save a little time there. Skipping a bait bag. He's going to swim there.
Far too much time doing what I'm doing. I need to stop. I just need to press the save button and hope that it works. So we should have hints now.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Alright, we're going to see... hopefully Chroma will check his inventory soon. We'll get to see what he stored. Meanwhile, Alberto is going for Diamond Step. Alberto has been on record saying that he does not like doing the early Diamond Step strat. For whatever reason, I guess he thinks that it takes too much time, or that like if you mess it up, you lose too much time, which I could agree with. I just like actually executing the trick, so I personally go for it, but...
Yeah,
we're going to see Alberto peek with the bomb clip here. Very neat. And with hookshot, it's even better, because you can just grab that, and then you go backwards to get the other chest. However, it looks like it was a completely dead island. Did we get to see what Chroma found?
He has 3 Triforce shards. I don't know exactly. I think it's Din's Pearl.
Oh yeah, perhaps that's what it was. Yeah, because Alberto had found Faro's Pearl. Finally getting to Outset as well.
Aurora's Pearl's male is a Triforce chart, so Aurora's Pearl is not required.
We see Chroma is just flying through Outset, climbing his way up through the Forest of Fairies here.
Yeah, I still don't know what angle or setup you need to get that, but it always looks so cool when they manage it.
Yeah, I still haven't nailed that either. There's a different strategy that is slightly slower because you climb up to a rock that is higher up to do a slide, but Alberto's going to find his Cabana Deed, so however, without Hammer, he still does not have Labyrinth access. I think Alberto does like to put off Windfall as long as possible. Okay, but now he's finally going for it, because I think he knows. Alright, now the seed is telling me I need to get to the Labyrinth as soon as possible. For whatever reason. We still don't know what's down there.
Tampa Pig. HD exclusive check. This is definitely one of the more interesting checks in the settings. But these pigs are no joke. They've almost killed me before in a run.
Oh, I'm not afraid to admit that they have. I have fallen victim to the swarm of swines, as it were.
Yeah, I've never died to the little pigs, but I have died to Big Pig at least 4 times that I can think of.
Oh, I have too. Alright, so unfortunately that didn't really amount to much. We already know what most of the windfall checks are going to be, but we will get to also see secret meeting and green shoes, in addition to everything else that was here that Chroma already got. Speaking of Chroma, he just picked up power bracelets.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not a huge find on these settings.
It would have been if he didn't already have bombs, but
right, or if this was an
has
Earth
bombs.
Temple seed. Mm-hmm.
They're not strictly required, but they can make some things a little bit easier. Moblin's letter.
I don't think... Yeah, Alberto has not been to Outset yet. Just making sure, yeah.
Yeah.
He is going to, kind of go through Windfall. He'll eventually get that second bow and probably immediately go to Ice Ring as a result.
Yeah.
Chroma, as long as he puts off Bomb Island, he's going to be at a disadvantage, I think. Because Ice Ring, we know Ice Ring has one item, which leads directly to Wind Temple at this point. And that's an entire other dungeon of checks out of reach at the moment.
Yeah. I mean...
Okay, he is going to find a sword here at Horseshoe, however.
I was going to say, Bomb Island is definitely one of those islands where it's just... You have to bite the bullet eventually, you just have to do it.
Yeah. I will say the current layout for Season 2 settings does make Bomb Island a little stronger by adding submarine and platform checks to it. So it doesn't feel as bad to go there. But in Season 1 settings, I'll agree, Bomb Island is usually something that runners tend to put off. Alberto elected not to do...
Yep.
Okay. He elected not to do Lenzo clip.
Which
I'm not sure what the reason for it is.
He is going to have to watch this cutscene, which is a few seconds time loss, but nothing super horrible.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps he just didn't want to deal with having to actually perform the clip.
Maybe.
If you already have Picto Box, the Lenzo clip only saves a couple of seconds, but if it's on your first visit, then it's worth it to do at least to get 2 extra checks.
Yeah.
We'll see what secret meeting holds for us. This is a new check for us.
It's a treasure chart. And the salvage core on Chroma's ends, we're going to see Farore's Pearl, right? Okay.
Oh, you know what? Fire and Ice Arrows actually opens up 2 more checks on Windfall.
Right, Creed.
So, and
also,
this is
I completely forgot.
Yeah,
we do actually need the pearls, all of them, because this is a tower seed.
Yes, that is true. So, Alberto's eventually going to have to get to Cliff Plateau for that Din's Pearl. And this is another playstyle difference that kind of comes into play. Chroma took care of his Windfall pretty early, and I think that is standard fare for most runners at this point. but some runners like to prolong windfall as long as possible. I think Alberto is one of them, and you can see that it's paying off in dividends at the moment. Chroma may have to do a second or even I mean, he's definitely doing a second, but he may even have to do a third trip depending on what happens. Meanwhile, Alberto is getting, I think, like all but 3 checks on his first visit.
Also, to answer the question, I don't know if you can do Lenzo door clip in HD. I don't know how it behaves. I've never tried it. I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry. I
Chroma's
definitely have seen door cancels on HD. I've done one by accident myself, I think. But I've never tried to do anything with Lenzo door cancel.
Yeah, I think in HD it is far less useful because item sliding lets you clip through things. It's just kind of like and also does like literally everything else. So it like the technique is there, but it just gets obsolesced by more useful techniques. Meanwhile, so Chroma is about to continue struggling, only to find out that Diamond Step is completely dead, and Alberto gets caught up with I believe that was an extra Triforce Shard. I just missed that at
third.
Out of Steel. Yes. Electing to just sail to Needle Rock Island. Because of fire and ice arrows, you can skip bait bag here as well. Runners of this caliber. Oh yeah, runners of this caliber are able to just completely skip bait bag on these settings.
Except for
as long as
Big Pig is hard required.
I was gonna say as long as Big Pig is not required, but we were not hinted about that, unfortunately. So we may see that as one of the last hints on this run. Or one of the last checks, I should say.
It's like, now that I know how to skip bait bag for 90% of bait bag uses, I'm never going to use bait bag ever again.
It might be more accurate to say that you can skip pairs.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Chroma slid past the mailbox, but then goes back because he sees it wiggling. I think what he was originally going to do was do the Chew Man first, and then decided to go back and do the mailbox.
Perhaps. Okay, now we're finally seeing Ice Ring. So we know we're going to pick up a Skull Hammer at some point. We just don't know whether that's going to be outside or inside. But either way, he's probably checking all 3, because who wouldn't?
Alright, and now we're going to let him cook.
Alright. Everybody in the chat start spamming let him cook. A Tingle statue. I almost forgot about those. Those are a thing in these settings. They have to collect 3 statues to get an item from Tingle later. Let him cook, let him cook.
Having to find all 5.
It's a ghost ship chart. Okay. That could be something. Okay, so both of the other Ice Ring checks are brown, so we know that Inner Cave is going to be Skullhammer. Did he cook? Time will tell. Well said by CJ Slenderboss in chat.
Chroma's going for Dampa Pig.
Right, yeah. I was going to say just his second round of Windfall checks in general. He still hasn't found that second bow, so he is going to need a third visit to take care of Creep and Transparent Chest. So there's
unfortunate, but not unreasonable.
Fun little tidbit about Ice Ring Isle. If you don't open the chest that normally has iron boots, the island is still frozen, so it's actually faster to leave this way than to save warp. But if you open the chest, then it is faster to save warp after Inner Cave. It's a small consideration that runners keep in the back of their mind for that island.
Little micro optimizations. And here we see, yep, he's going straight to Oasis.
Ooh, here's a check Alberto didn't have. We're gonna see from Chroma if it's the
Neru's
other pearl.
Oh
Wow.
boy.
Okay. So I think we're gonna see like a dungeon route difference here. Because I think Chroma has whatever he needs for tower.
Yep, that's tower open.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised if Alberto goes to Wind Temple right after finishing this.
Now we have Chroma going for Lenzo Clip again.
I know everybody kind of has
cutscene.
Yeah. Everybody kind of has their own way of doing it. Alberto's angle seems to be slightly off. He's a little too far to the left, I would say. Now he's got it. Everybody has their own style of doing Lenzo Clip. I personally like doing it with the boomerang. I don't know why, I pretty much nail it first try with boomerang every time.
No, literally same. I cannot do it with anything other than boomerang, and it also probably doesn't help that I do it completely unbuffered.
Yeah, I mean, I also do it unbuffered, which is probably why I can only do it with boomerang consistently.
Well, I feel like even if I try to buffer it with something that isn't boomerang, it still doesn't work.
Oh, alright, so here's the payoff. Light arrows for Alberto. Is very wise to try to emphasize a way to get into Labyrinth as soon as possible. I hope that Chroma will pick up the same routing logic when he finally finds his fire arrows, but that's going to just depend on when he decides to go to Bomb Island, because that's going to be mandatorily first. He needs Bomb Island to get to Ice Ring. And the hammer from Ice Ring leads to light arrows. So that's actually, like, that's just a hard required routing chain. Looks like Alberto is making use of some opportunities to swim in Overworld. Try to take care of a couple more checks before maybe tackling Wind Temple.
Hi, Tom.
Jari says, not hard required, but useful. Perhaps I'm just missing something, but I feel like, unless there's a way to get to those light arrows without hammer, I would think that it is required.
Yeah, there is a way to skip hammer in Cabana. It's just nobody ever uses it.
Gotcha. Okay, so then strongly recommended is how I'll amend that statement. It looks like Chroma's stream had a bit of a jitter there. Maybe it was a little behind, but then finally caught up. Either way, we're going to see him tackling Tower of the Gods, so he's actually going to start to have a bit of a dungeon advantage against Alberto. But Alberto being up 2 bows and having the hammer is pretty big too.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Chroma doing one of my favorite things to see people that play both rando and normal speedruns doing is he's sat in the water waiting for the water cycle to rise. So what does he do? He starts trying to manual super swim just for fun, just to see if he can get any speed.
Of course.
Ooh, another
We
Tingle
found our
statue.
second Tingle statue. Well, so we know where 2 Tingle statues are, but each of our runners only has one of them. So
And Chroma
eventually when
hasn't
they
marked
start...
it yet.
Yeah.
Chroma trying for the
Alberto
push
marked
flip.
his. I'm sure Chroma will mark his in a moment when he's not busy doing a roll clip or a bomb clip. I usually never go for bomb clip there. I just walk off the wall on an angle. I find you don't
I always
actually
use the
bomb for that.
statue.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I just use the statue. But I guess if you know how to do it with bombs, it's faster.
Yeah. And here we see him doing
Hey,
manual
super
super swim again. You gotta have something to do with your hands while you're waiting.
Yeah. You call it waiting, I call it extra hand warmers. Another shard for Alberto. Was this Northern Fairy that he just checked?
I think Northern Fairy's still on his tracker.
Oh, that was Outset. That's what it was. Okay, so
Right.
Chroma also already has that shard. So they're tied up on Triforce shards, but I think the specific ones they have are slightly different.
Yeah, I think so. Bottle, it's grandma time! After he finishes the dungeon, of course, but...
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
let me just, there we go.
Grandma is just one of those, yeah, you know, little reminder for everybody, that, you know, rescuing Grandma is, the altruistic play, but is it the right play for a race? The only way we're gonna know is actually watching the race unfold.
Yep. I like to save Grandma anyway, even if she's hinted dead, because what that means is that gives me soup, and soup is really nice, especially in the Ganon fight.
Yeah, that is true. Both of our runners have found an extra heart. So the soup may be less important for, like, covering mistakes, I would say. But these are not the types of runners to really make mistakes in the first place when it comes to the Ganon fights.
That is a good point.
But
However,
the
I
extra
will
magic
say
is
I was more so talking about the double damage output, because it's really, really easy to one-cycle Ganon with the double damage.
Yeah. Alberto, going out of his way to check Star Island, unfortunately, it is not going to amount to anything. It always feels bad when Star Island is dead because, again, it is kind of out of the way. You have to do a combat cave. It's a little time-consuming. Season 1 settings, people like to put off Star Island, basically just as much as Bomb Island, if not more, because you can't swim away from Star Island.
Yes, Jari, I know, but I like to save a couple button presses.
Yeah, the double damage definitely is optional. You can one-cycle Ganon Phase 2 without the double damage as well. It's just the timing's a little more strict with your inputs, that's all it is. Technically, drinking the soup mid-fight actually loses a very slight amount of time compared to just doing it without the soup. But it's just for like the ease of execution at that point.
I don't think it's possible to soup dupe in HD.
No, you can't. I wish you could. That would be so awesome.
Oh, you can with pause storage. Interesting.
Looks like Alberto's finally going to be checking Cliff Plateau and probably Bird Peak by extension.
Yep.
And Chroma is just chugging his way through the Tower of the Gods. We haven't been finding much in terms of like useful items here, though. Like we found a bottle, but I don't think we found anything else necessarily.
No, not really. We found a Tingle statue in a bottle.
Right, and the Tingle statue could be useful later.
No storage. Alberto's just going straight for it. He does have grappling hook, so he could be going for the grapple clip. And it looks like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it takes just about as much time, assuming you nail it first try.
It's realistically, it's faster to do grapple clip, but I've always found storage more consistent.
Yeah. And he
Alberto,
gets it first try.
of course, getting it first try, making it look easy.
I mean, when you think about it, it is pretty easy. It's just you press A. You just have to press A at the right time.
Yeah, I've always struggled with the timing, though.
Executing storage is actually more strict because it's frame perfect. We're still not seeing a whole lot of new items from Chroma. However, we are going to get to see probably the hardest trick in the dungeon here. Hardest as in, like, most precise. So, he has the command melody to fall back on, but there's no reason not to go for this.
Well,
unless you
throw the statue.
unless you drop the.
That's
Luckily, there is a backup to attempt it again if the statue is already called down. The angle is slightly different with the same setup, but the trick still works. The only thing that's different is the spacing of the initial position to jump from. So he's going to do 3 perfect side hops.
And he's going to miss the third, unfortunately.
Yeah. We'll see if he decides to attempt it any number of other times before finally resorting to command melody, if all else fails. Meanwhile, Alberto is actually about to pick up one of Chroma's first checks this run at Thorn Ferry. Alright, Chroma finally gets the trick.
There's that
and he
one
finds the red
chew jelly. I never see the red chew jelly in seeds that I play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why Alberto is... I guess Alberto really just wants that Nehru's Pearl before tackling dungeons. Because he's maybe banking on... oh, I forgot to mark he has light arrows. He's maybe banking on finding that last sword and whatever shards he's missing in dungeons. I think he
bag.
finally gave up on Overworld and is going for Wind Temple now.
Yeah, he is.
So, all things considered, our runners are actually pretty even on items. Chroma is basically up a dungeon, like 2/3 of a dungeon or most of a dungeon at this point. But Alberto has an advantage in 2 extra bows and Skullhammer.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Chroma has Power Bracelets and Ghost Ship Chart, neither of which he's had to use yet.
Right. I mean, I doubt Power Bracelets are going to come into play at all in this run, but Ghost Ship remains to be seen. Like, you know, this is really still anybody's run at this point. We're just about an hour in. Depending on how easy it is for the runners to find their extra pieces of cheese, that that'll kind of like make or break the final times for this run, I think.
Yeah. There's Vanilla Big Key, that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we were paying a little closer attention to the specific key placements in Tower, we would have picked up on that sooner. But that's a pretty Tower's a pretty easy dungeon to not have to factor the big key into the route. Like, you're pretty much always going to find the big key before you reach that door.
What is Chroma doing? Oh, I didn't know there was a fairy there. Why
Which
didn't
is
you just
weird
take it from the
considering there's
pot up there.
Exactly, there's a fairy in the pot. I wonder if you're just able to grab that fairy faster. It could also
never
be
seen
Chroma
that
just having
before.
fun. Chroma is known to just do silly things in runs just because.
Yeah.
Like, we literally saw him take a selfie with Goma earlier. And I wonder if he'll try to take a selfie with Godan as well.
I wouldn't count it out.
Meanwhile, Alberto is making his way through the early rooms of Wind Temple. We're going to finally start seeing some more items. First couple rooms of Wind Temple are kind of slow.
Alberto
we're going to see a door clip, or a door skip. The angle for this hop is very precise, and he gets it. Nice. He's going to
get a roll clip.
Yes. The roll clip is honestly the easy part. Actually getting up on that door frame is definitely the harder part of that trick, but it's gonna hopefully pay off for him if he finds something in the boss key check.
And then you have to make sure that you get to that door sideways, because if you get at it from the back, it just won't let you in. Chroma getting pushed off the stage by Godan, unfortunately. But there's the... Oh, there's the funny. You get to see him dangling from the ledge.
Okay, so there's Alberto's second Tingle statue. So he's got 4 out of 5.
And
so now we
might see Tingle.
I was gonna say, I think we know where all of the Tingle statues are now. It's just the two of them have like opposite statues.
Yeah.
Once they start backtracking each other's checks, they'll pick up their difference.
There's Chroma doing the funny thing where Link is dangling in the floor in the cutscene.
Nice.
That's Triforce Shard number 5, and Godan defeated.
A lot of funny cutscene things you can do in this game. I recently played a run where I had used the bow to take care of Kalidamos. I went in for damage phase and did the one round like you would expect, and as Kalidamos' head is flying off, I heard the jingle for picking up arrows. So apparently, an arrow drop, like one of the arrows was lodged in the boss and fell down and landed on me for me to pick up, because you can pick up arrows if you walk into them after you shot them.
That's pretty funny.
So that was very funny. At least to me it was. Alright, we'll see the fast strat for
Why did he buy a pair?
I think he lost track of the one he needed to hit. Fast strat for
big time.
Armos. Oh yeah, Big Pig. We still don't know what that is yet.
Unfortunately, no pig yeet in HD, but we have our ways of getting him where we want him. And it's a heart container. Not even gonna pick it up to heal, but it's also not gonna save Grandma yet. Instead, just beelining it for Needle Rock.
Maybe he's gonna go for... I think maybe he was gonna maybe attempt the weird shot on the chest, but he saw that it wasn't required.
Then why did he pick up a pair? I'm so confused.
Probably as a backup. Chroma has had mixed results in the past with that weird shot, because it's very difficult, and if you mess up, you will just fling yourself into the ocean and have to save warp. So you end up losing a lot of time every attempt.
We see Chroma skipping the other two boulders and missing the ledge grab.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. With good leaf pumping, you can skip the second boulder, but I think usually people will just hit the second boulder and jump from there instead for that little extra height.
Chat says screen froze, but everything looks fine to me in terms of the other streams. It might be a ZSR thing. Or no, Chroma's stream is doing some weird things now.
Yeah. Oh, and Alberto picks up his full Master Sword in Wind Temple. So we know Chroma will eventually run into that. He won't have to look for that later.
So what I'm seeing on the... What I'm seeing in chat is that the streams are frozen on the restream, but audio still works and the timer's still running.
Okay. Oh no, timer also froze? Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, we're able to still see the action, so I guess while technical difficulties are being troubleshot, we can at least try our best to explain what's going on. So Chroma is about to pick up a spiky chest in Rockspire. It's another Triforce shard. So Chroma's only missing one shard in the wild now. And meanwhile, Alberto is just about wrapping up his Wind Temple. Yeah. Apologies, everybody, for any technical difficulties.
Chroma is going into Bomb Island now, or not Bomb Island, Star Island, and
yeah.
Alberto is doing Chicka Chicka. He's doing the Mulgara 1 cycle, And he misses the one cycle, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did not really take his time trying to set up the trick. There's like you could set it up with a bomb, or you can set it up with a spin attack, like right up against him. But Alberto kind of just goes for it, and you can do that, but it's much tougher, albeit faster.
Yeah,
And of course, he gets
Alberto
it the second
usually
time,
goes for the YOLOs.
and he's got it for the third phase. So he manages to skip 2 out of 3 phases. Chroma does still need to check Bomb Island. He has still been putting that off for quite a while. And, unless he intends to skip Hammer in Cabana, like, he really needs, Bomb Island to Ice Ring to Cabana. And that'll also open Wind Temple for him. That's pretty much the big thing stopping Chroma at the moment. He needs to go to Bomb Island. Perhaps we'll see him swim there right now. Alberto picking up his 5th shard.
Chroma getting a sploosh right next to the Fishman on Rock Spire.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Alberto is swimming off of Gale Island. Or he's trying to. Okay, he gets the swim. Let's see where he takes it. Western Ferry.
I think Eastern. Yeah, Eastern was hinted dead.
Purple Bomber says we're back. You guys can all see everything now?
Yep, we can see. We're good. Yeah, sorry I waited so long to say something in the Discord.
The Fairy Islands are not really coming up all that helpful this run. I think it was pretty much only Outset Fairy had anything useful. Ghost Ship gave a shield, which does not help on this run because Angular is dead and there's no Earth Temple. Ganon actually can be defeated with just a Skull Hammer to block the last light arrow. So for Chroma, unfortunately, that means that is a dead check that he just spent time on.
Yeah, logically required, but definitely avoidable.
Yeah. Just like Boomerang. However, you start with Boomerang in these settings. Whenever we get around to streaming Season 2 stuff, eventually, you'll probably see a couple runs that are, like, totally Boomerangless, even with Kalidamos in play, simply because it can be skipped basically everywhere.
And Soup.
Yes.
We'll get Soup, how long he waited to check Grandma, but hey, he got it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a testament to how long some people will put off Bomb Island, because he would rather save Grandma than go to Bomb Island.
Yep.
We can only hope that Grandma actually pays off somehow with, like, maybe the last shard. Actually, I think that's the only thing that would help Chroma at this point, because he needs to get to Wind Temple for his last sword. Alberto...
Well, it could be a letter.
Yeah, Alberto gets caught up. It is a shard! Oh my goodness!
My God.
Oh my gosh, that's huge! So
okay.
that really, it comes... Okay, so I'm sorry I popped off so hard, everyone who's wearing headphones. Yeah. Oh yeah, follow up on whether Potion Guy cooked. He did not in fact cook, because Ghost Ship was dead. Thank you for pointing that out, CJ Slenderboss.
Oh,
But yeah, no.
is this it? Are we
but back
finally
to
seeing Bomb Island? No,
back
he
to
doesn't
that,
have enough speed.
yeah, maybe not. But that is huge. So I strongly feel like this seed, because they're even on dungeons. They just Alberto needs tower and Chroma needs Wind Temple. It really comes down to whether Chroma checks Bomb Island or Alberto checks Grandma.
He's doing it. He's going for Bomb.
This is actually huge. This is the comeback, like the momentum swing that Chroma desperately needed, because I think Alberto was on the way to victory otherwise. And again, this is still anybody's run. Especially depending what happens with Alberto. If he can pick up Nehru's Pearl quickly, that'll lead him to the bottle that leads him to Grandma. However, he may actually waste time checking Ghost Ship here. Yeah, no, this is a tough race to call, but I think the momentum has shifted in Chroma's favor.
Just a little, at least, because he is still missing hammer and 2 bows.
Servanto, or Servant, I just read that wrong. Servant of Testador 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, Chroma has just rescued Grandma, and that has in fact actually been a strong swing in momentum in his favor. Although Alberto keeps the pressure on by collecting his Nehru's Pearl just after. So Alberto's ready to tackle his 3rd dungeon now. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take him to rescue Grandma after he finds that bottle in tower.
There we go, there's fire.
Is what it really comes down to. So that's basically where we're at. Chroma is on track to reaching go mode. As soon as he finishes tower, our Wind Temple, he will have go mode.
I don't think it's possible to slide directly into Wind Temple, but I know there is a way to get into Wind Temple early.
I think you're correct about that. Yeah. Yeah, Chroma definitely has the advantage here because his route is kind of railroading into him getting to go mode guaranteed. Alberto, depending on how fast his tower is and if he decides to save Grandma immediately after, then he could swing it back in his favor. But right now, my gut is telling me it's going to be Chroma winning this first game. Chroma picks up a Tingle statue.
Chroma.
We know he's about to get his hammer as well. And the last Tingle statue was in Wind Temple, so Chroma will actually... Oh, but we actually know that Tingle statues aren't useful anymore.
How do we know that Tingle statues aren't useful?
Because the light arrows that Chroma needs are in Cabana.
Right.
So you know what that is? That is one other thing. If Alberto manages to finish tower and check Grandma before Chroma decides to check Cabana, that would be Alberto's ticket back into a winning seat.
Yeah.
So again, these are the kind of runs that I love, where it kind of goes back and forth, and it's still close. It's still a close race, even an hour and 15, almost hour 16 minutes in. Alberto finally starting his tower. We know the bottle is pretty much the only significant thing he's going to be picking up here.
I was going to say, in the words of a lot of people, but especially Chroma, it's rando. Anything can happen.
That is absolutely true. There's There's Alberto's 5th Tingle statue. Only problem is that's going to be a red herring. Hopefully Alberto doesn't check Tingle looking for that last shard.
Got Chroma going straight for Wind Temple.
Yeah, and I think Chroma is going to realize that outside of light arrows, he will be in go mode by the time he's done with Wind Temple because of that sword. Alberto on his way to grab the bottle.
Where is Chroma's last bow? That's a good question.
Chroma's last bow is in Cabana.
All right. Yeah.
Outside of Skipping Hammer, which basically nobody does except for Jari for some reason, the order of the bows was Windfall in Lenzo chest, like one of the Lenzo chests, and then Bomb Island. So like you can get those in either order, but then you need both of those to get Skull Hammer to get light arrows in Cabana.
And for your information, the last shard, at least for Chroma, is here at the end of Wind Temple.
Right, so that's why we're saying outside of light arrows, he's in go mode, but Chroma would have to decide to check Cabana after Wind Temple for him to capitalize on that. And I would say that if he does, this is basically a done deal for him. But if I remember, he still had a couple of other overworld checks that he could end up wasting his time on, especially Tingle, because he'll probably pick up his last statue here as well. So, like, this really just comes down to routing. Because they're both doing each other's dungeons. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also, for Servants of Testator, normally in vanilla Wind Waker HD, storage is patched out, but in the randomizer, we've patched it back in.
So that way we could have the best of both worlds. Insane macro movement with item slides and all the tech that follows from that, like easy super swims and sword hops and clipping, etc. And then all the great things about storage that make SD runs so interesting. I like the way Alberto did that, just like a nice target hop immediately into calling the statue.
It does look very clean, yeah.
I actually didn't know you could do it that way, and I'm a little upset that I didn't ever think to try that, but I'm definitely doing it that way from now on. And this is why it's important to watch your contemporaries, which is advice that I need to take, because I don't do my homework, and it shows. Yeah. Chroma getting a little disoriented
Cyclone's room was hinted dead, so I'm not entirely sure what he's doing in here.
I think he just realized that and is returning to Big Key Chest.
One of the fun things about Wind Waker HD, or at least about this particular dungeon with Wind Temple, is in some of the rooms where you need magic the most, magic is really weirdly hard to find. Like that central room, good luck trying to find magic if you run out.
Yeah. And you know me, I'll always check those pots when I'm low on magic, just hoping, but it's like, I should know better. I would say Earth Temple is probably like the big place to know where the magic jars are, because you will leaf pump your way through that magic bar very quickly when you do the advanced routing through that dungeon.
This room is significantly more difficult to do without light arrows, Is this room even anything important? I don't remember.
I believe there was a Tingle statue here. I could be wrong. It's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
We tend to mostly only remember like where the important items were. I believe this was the last Tingle statue for Chroma.
Yeah, this is number 5.
Okay, so I was right.
I think that was Alberto trying for hop storage.
I was gonna say it was a little hard to tell just from there, but we'll see if it paid off.
Nope.
Okay, so he's just going for the regular route with the scales. Nailing the hop storage does significantly speed up this room. However, it is quite precise to do, and if you didn't do it right, it will lose you a good amount of time. So it's considered a bit of a risky strategy. But when you're this far in the bracket for a tournament, it's those kinds of gambles and strategies that can make or break a run, especially if you're behind like Alberto is currently. And I think he might actually be feeling that. Sometimes when you're deep in a run, especially when it's a race, you kind of just know if you're ahead or not. I think Alberto slightly feels that he might be a bit behind.
Yeah, Servant of Testator, yes, we patched that back in. And it's called just storage.
Alright, let's see if Alberto nails his, Alright, he got it first try. So, like, this is where, like, you know, the item difference, having light arrows versus not, and also the execution difference, does incrementally add up in Alberto's favor, I think. This is a nice little item slide. Or item hop, sword hop.
Yeah, we have...
Oh no, it wasn't a sword hop, that was a inverted target.
We have storage turned back on, but with these 3 dungeons, that doesn't do very much. DRC, Tower of the Gods, and Wind Temple are not very storage-heavy dungeons.
No, and neither is Fortress, for that matter. Storage matters the most in Earth Temple, by far. Basically lets you skip half the dungeon.
But to be fair, at least with Fortress, you can chest storage your way up to Helmarok.
Yeah, that's useful if you know that Fortress is dead, or if you had to double dip because you visited without hammer for whatever reason. And then Woods storage lets you check Tall Room without grappling hook. And it also lets you skip a key. So, you know, significant but not game-breaking. Like, you can definitely still do Woods quickly without storage.
Yeah. Chroma getting a little struggle with this bomb boost, but getting it eventually. There's his boss key.
And Alberto picking up his own boss key in his dungeon right after. It's amazing to see like just how in sync yet so different both of these runners are. Let's see if Chroma can do the fast Armos room any better than Alberto did. Alberto had messed up on the final statue. Okay, he gets 2.
Alberto's got a fairy, which means he's probably going to end up...
He gets those 2, and...
He only missed
okay,
the
so
one.
he's... Oh, may have spoken too soon. Okay, he manages to get it in about the same amount of time, I would say.
Alberto picked up a fairy, which means he is probably at least considering Grandma in his routing. The question is, does he go straight away and go mode, or does he put it off?
Yeah. I'm thinking he may check faster checks first, but if he is feeling the pressure and feels like he might be slightly behind, he may just gamba on Grandma.
Chroma got the instant clip with the hook shot target. Because normally you hook shot the target and then you end up on top of the target standing. But Chroma skipped that and just went straight to being out of bounds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he forgot to put his... Oh, he's gonna do it from up there, I see. Yeah, no, this run is very intense right now. There's like, now I'm starting to kind of see maybe it's gonna go in Alberto's favor, because he was able to clear tower faster than, he's able to clear his tower faster than Chroma by like a long shot. I think Chroma, especially on the boss fight, took a lot longer.
Yeah.
Between messing up the second statue a couple times and slower boss fight.
Oh, he's going to Tingle.
Alberto's checking Tingle first. I had a feeling this might happen. It really just comes down to if Chroma checks Labyrinth immediately after Wind Temple, I think he has a chance. But now that Alberto's finished with his dungeon and already back to checking Overworld for Go mode, I think the momentum has actually shifted back in Alberto's favor.
Let's see if Chroma can get the complete skip. Oh yeah, no, Alberto's going to outset. I think Alberto's got this now.
Mm-hmm. You can see Chroma taking a little more of a methodical approach to skipping Mulgera. He actually gets it on the third one. So he actually has a better Mulgera than Alberto.
Yep, full Mulgera.
Oh, he's checking Pig! Oh no, Alberto!
Pig! No, Creep does not hint light arrows.
No, people like to joke that Creep tends to have light arrows.
Yeah, that's why we beat Creep.
Yeah, but no, Creep did not have anything significant on this run. Well, that was very close. Alberto almost got hit by Big Pig.
And you gotta remember, the Big Pig does more damage than Ganondorf. The Big Pig does 3 hearts of damage, so Alberto wouldn't have died because he has that quarter heart, but he's awful close.
Yeah.
Also, we could see something very awful from Chroma. We could see him go for Sword Chamber Gamba.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't
Knowing
think he
Chroma,
will, but...
Yeah, alright, so there's his 8th shard. He's got Mulgera done.
And Grandma is being saved on Alberto's side. This is intense. All Chroma has to do is just go to Cabana.
I mean, even if he does at this point, Alberto just strictly has Go mode. I think Alberto's, like, in a significant advantage position now.
Going for Tingle.
Unless he puts off checking mail for whatever reason, Alberto might try to over-optimize. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might start doing other stuff. Well,
no,
what else does
he's
he
going
have?
straight for it.
Yeah, no, nothing else he has is in logic. He's not. He's missing the stuff he needs for the other checks. He never marked off Angular Isles, and it's just 2 checks on Windfall that he doesn't need. So yeah, Alberto's just on his way to high roll now.
Yep.
I think Alberto would have to basically just mess up in high roll for him to lose. This is his race to lose at this point. Oh no! And Chroma's
no,
going for the Hyrule
Chamber
Gamba.
Gamba.
No.
Yeah, Bobby, we don't have Shard and Sword hints. We don't have as fancy of a hint system as SD, unfortunately, but
Yeah, we make do with what we've got. I think it,
I think the hints feel fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I usually don't have a complaint with them.
Dude, if this is a bottle...
This would be pretty funny if it was a bottle.
Oh no, it's spiky! It could be a bottle!
He's gonna lose even more time.
No! Chroma!
Yeah, I was... Ooh, Alberto messed up his courtyard skip there. Oh no, and he climbed back into the boat! Oh my goodness, what is happening?
Absolute cinema.
It's... I was gonna say, it's hard to, it's hard not to, like, have a bias or be partial to one runner versus another. But, I think it's fair to say that Chroma is the underdog here.
It still looks
that was very
though.
close. He almost loaded into the courtyard there, Alberto.
I can only imagine the look on Chroma's face when he saw that deluxe Picto box.
Oh no, and now he's gonna go probably check Minenko and get nothing. Man, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had my hopes up for Chroma to have an underdog win going into game 2, but like, to see him so close and then for everything to fall apart is it's tough. It's unfortunate, but that's just rando. Anything can happen.
Well, it still could. Anything could still happen because this is best of 3 and this is only game 1.
Mm-hmm. That is true. So, regardless of who wins, it is still far from over.
And just remember, on... whoever does win has to face Mason. Oh, there's shield number 2.
Are we finally going to see...
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I was watching something. Like, I was watching what Chroma was going to do.
Oh, no!
Chroma had... Oh, yeah, because the spiky chest was still there. That's also another red herring. Oh, poor Chroma. Oh, man.
This has to be either a bottle or Maggie's letter, and that's really unfortunate.
Especially if it's Maggie's letter. Imagine if this was actually how you get light arrows this seed. That would have been torture.
Oh, yeah.
Alberto missed the other Dark Nut there.
Wow.
I mean, so I think if we had to summarize what the deciding factors were in this run, I think it definitely comes down to Chroma putting off Bomb Island too long.
Yeah.
If he had checked that way sooner, Chroma could have already been done by now. I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, what a shot from Alberto. Like, right through the little gap in his hip.
It's a bottle!
It is a bottle! Oh my god. The ending of this run has been crazy. Bobby, I see what you're about to get to. I may have misspoke earlier. Angular was not ever hinted dead. It just became dead by way of knowing where all the required items were, even though the chest was spiky. No, Angular was not hinted dead. I just misspoke earlier.
I mean, you can do that, and there you go. Magic armor we actually start with.
Ooh. He gets a crypt shot, very cool. Now we'll see whether he goes for a single or a double trog here.
Knowing Alberto, I can see the double trog. Chroma is still
Chroma,
doing everything else.
Yeah, everything except Cabana. That's really the two things. Putting off Cabana and putting off Bomb Island is Chroma's ultimate downfall, but... Oh, he gets the double!
Oh. So Alberto gets the double trog, absolute unit. Chroma is sending note to mom.
Yeah, we saw Alberto do that earlier too, to know of course. Rope mash. I mean, I get jealous of people who can do this. I am not a good button masher at all. I always just climb this rope. And I know that it definitely saves... It loses me, like, at least 20 seconds.
Every time I try rope mash, it just doesn't work. Alberto going for the new setup for grapple skip, getting it first try because he's just him.
And perfectly hookshotting the ledge to grab it as well. I mean, like,
Soup,
you know,
but
Chroma finally finds his Cabana deed. Maybe that'll be his hint to actually go check Cabana. For those who are wondering why we were suggesting he goes to Cabana without having the deed, that is because you can use storage from the waterfall chest to clip inside early with the hookshot. So you actually can just check the inside of the Cabana with everything other than the deed itself. Meanwhile, here is time for Alberto.
3:18:16.
GG's. 1:38:16. An impressive time for Season 1 settings, where I think the average clear time is somewhere between 1:40 and 1:45.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess it's a matter of time at this point whether Chroma sees that the timer has stopped or not. We'll probably just shoot him a message real quick that the run is over. I can do that.
Yeah, I think he's realized he's got the tea bags going.
Yeah. We should be seeing them in chat here, like in our Discord chat here very soon for post-race interview. So if you guys would like some insight on like thought process and just like talking about the run with the runners, definitely stick around for that.
Yes, Arctic, I did by accident say 3:18. It's 1:38, not 3:18.
I like seeing Beatles Special Shop having only rupees. Very picturesque, if I do say so myself.
If either of these runners get a 3-hour time in the next race, something has gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Absolutely. All things considered, I think this was a pretty good seed. It only ended up cursed for Chroma because of routing.
Oh.
There they are. GG's.
GG's.
This was definitely a very interesting watch, I will tell you that right now.
I mean, congratulations, Alberto, on your Game 1 victory. I guess just what were your thoughts, just in general, about that run? First of all,
I think I had a bit of a shaky start, but nothing like crazy. But like, for example, forgetting that Cyclos was dead, and then literally going in the island, and then being like, oh wait, I don't need to go here. And then some failed super swims, and then some like failed stuff in DRC. I think I avoided out twice doing the exact same item slide. And then also forgot my Knight's Crest in DRC and had to go get it from Bomb Island. So, and then I messed up on Horseshoe. But besides that, I feel pretty good about. I think my overall routing I feel pretty good about. Though I I'm pretty sure we had completely different routing from talking to Chroma.
That's what it sounds
Placed
like.
in different directions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so-
I was.
Yeah, Dungeon 2
God.
could have been either, right? You could have gone to Tower of the Gods or Wind Temple as Dungeon 2, I think.
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
it was either, because Alberto, you went to Wind Temple second, but Chroma went to Tower second.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble finding fire and ice. I just never went to Bomb Island. It was one of my last like 2 or 3 checks by the time, like accessible by the time I decided to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chroma, by the way, light arrows that you were looking for was in Cabana.
Yeah, that's what Al told me when we were in the waiting room for just a second. So
Yeah,
Alberto, just to
the
let you know, to clue you in on the possible high roll Gamba, I don't know if you had peeked inside of Angular and saw that was spiky. So the
Okay,
high roll
yeah.
Gamba, so that was the first nugget of knowledge I had in my head. High roll Gamba gave Deluxe Picto, and then Mineko gave the
man.
Mirror Shield, and then
Oh.
and then
And then
Angular
Angular
gave
was a bottle.
So
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Completely
that was just
useless
very
Gamba.
unfortunate.
Wow. Yeah, I did see the spiky, and then I did Grandma last, and I was like, uh-oh, Grandma's gonna give me a mirror shield.
One of the things we talked about just in general, like seeing you two running in particular, was like the difference in like the prior experience leading up to like where you guys currently are in the randomizer scene. And what I mean by that isn't necessarily like the quantity of races or like runs done, but in the sense that Alberto, you started as a speedrunner of vanilla and then came to randomizer after. And Chroma, if I'm correct, you started running on randomizer and then started running vanilla afterward. Is that correct?
Yeah, unless you want to count my casual playthrough as a 20-hour glitchless speedrun.
There you go. A blind glitchless speedrun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because what I think that results in is a different approach to routing in general, because Alberto, you, as soon as you found grappling hook, you went for DRC and just played it forward, because I feel like for you that's probably playing to your strengths as a vanilla runner. Chroma, having started on randomizer, you held out until you had your first bow, and then you finally went to Dragon Roost. So we got to see forward and backward DRC basically at the same time, back to back, or like side by side, I should say. And then of course you guys swapped on your second and third dungeons. So like there was a lot of like cool like opposite but parallel stuff going on. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, I'd
Oh
say
yeah,
that,
this dungeon opened up. This seed opened up very quickly. That's for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, they were
with
very powerful
DRI,
hints.
DRC hints, and then
Mhm.
finding bombs and grapple instantly. I think
Yeah.
I would have gone and done forwards DRC if we didn't have the bow hinted at Windfall. That's the only reason why I knew, like, okay, it's probably something I get on my first trip, and it was. I did have to double dip Lenzo clip, but being able to do DRC backwards was kind of worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
that was
about
going to be
what I
the
figured.
Yeah, that was going to be the next thing that I point out. Alberto held out to do Windfall, and he was able to basically clear all but like 4 or 3 checks on his first visit because he waited until after DRC to go there. He went there, I think, at like 35 minutes in. But Chroma, you did what I think most runners do, is early Windfall, because early Windfall is OP. But
Well,
you know,
I think
that's
it's, again,
kind of
more
like
a this seed
yeah.
thing with the hints.
Mhm.
I usually put off Windfall for a very long time, try to one-trip it. Like, that's what I did to Outset this time, but instead, it just didn't really work out. And the hints, like, telling me there was a bow right there, I was like, it's probably worth it. I think it was, but obviously, in the long run, it
Yeah.
did not work out in my favor.
Yeah. I think we need to talk about the ending in general. Like the last leg of the run, like going into the third dungeon, basically. Because Chroma, outside of light arrows, you had go mode going into Wind Temple, because we knew from watching Alberto that your last sword was there. we all collectively flipped out when we saw Grandma had a shard, because Alberto didn't even have a bottle yet at that point because he hadn't been to Tower. So for a while, you were actually looking the favored to win. Your unfortunate downfall was just Overworld after that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I put off. We got bombs super early, and for some reason, I didn't do all the bomb checks super fast. I knew there was Sphere 0, but so much of the seed was just opening up simultaneously from other checks that going to places like Southern Ferry and Bomb Island were just my downfall, or not going to those places. It's unfortunate. I can't really say why I didn't route them in, other than they didn't feel convenient at the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough call you have to make when a seed opens up so big like this, because it's easy to make routing decisions when you only have 2 to 3 options, but when like the whole overworld opens up, like, what do you prioritize?
Yeah. Didn't work out this time.
Yeah, very hard. Honestly, I'm not really sure how I could have known to go to Tower of the Gods before Wind Temple. I don't really know. I mean, for me, that was just all that was open, and I was about to Super Swim, and I was like, well, I'm going to Wind Temple. But I don't know if there's like a way you're supposed to be like, oh yeah, go to Tower of the Gods first. Like, I don't know, maybe Wind Temple's higher in Sphere? Like, I don't really know.
I think they're honestly about the same, because you needed Moblin Letter to get Nehru's Pearl. I forgot where that one was, but
I was in wait, that was Sphere 0. That was on Outset, I think.
Yeah, that was under Grandma's house.
Yeah, so like, you know, Tower could actually have been the first dungeon, actually, especially if you grabbed bombs from Dragon Roost, and then Leaf was somewhere pretty convenient, if I remember correctly.
Well, yeah, Leaf was in Dragon Roost.
Yeah, you could
that's right. It was in Dragon Roost Cavern. So yeah, you probably wanted
stairs, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I think
logically, you would need the Leaf to get Din's Pearl, which was on top of Cliff Plat. So that was a logical, like, DRC did have to be first before Tower.
Sure.
But out of logic, yeah, it was possible.
Out of logic, it was possible, but I think DRC first was still definitely the right call for a seed with these kinds of hints.
Yeah. Example of one of those where it's like, I just chose wrong, and I just got unlucky. Like, pretty much. You just have to get lucky with this seed.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it came down to.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. The last thing I had to say about that is that it was just it, like, at one point in the run, it pretty much came down to, is Chroma gonna check Cabana or is Alberto gonna save Grandma? Like, whichever one happens first, that person probably wins. That's really what it came down to at one point.
And then, as Alberto was saving Grandma, Chroma was checking Tingle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I decided to go to Tingle before the Hyrule Gamba, because I was like, how often do you get all 5 Tingle statues and not have to go to Tingle, right?
To be fair, Alberto did that too.
Yeah, I could have just gone to Outset. I could have. I mean, it didn't really matter too much at that point.
Yeah. I feel like I played well execution-wise, especially towards the beginning of the seed, but as it went on, I did just kind of feel like there's so many checks, and I'm basically found nothing from a little bit before heading into Wind Temple. Then I found the one sword, and then it was just nothing for the rest of the seed. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like aside from that, like, the only real, like, big thing was the second statue in Tower. And like the Godan fight in general. Alberto's Tower was like much faster, which led him to checking Overworld before you.
All that I can think of that was needed in Tower was the one bottle and not even the Tingle statue.
Yeah, no, it was pretty much just the bottle. But yeah.
How are you supposed to know that? You know, there's no way you could possibly know that.
Yeah, like, unless. Like, let's put it this way. If you already had everything else going into Tower, then you could make a case. But Like, this was just a tough seed because Grandma had an item.
Yeah, both dungeons were required. They had a required item in them.
Yep. Yeah, and I had a feeling the other two dungeons might be sparse because you had bombs and grapple on Dragon Roost Island. You had several required items in Dragon Roost Cavern, right? So, like, Dragon Roost was heavily stacked, which was going to thin out everywhere else, and that tends to lead to seeds that are very luck dependent.
Yep. Yeah. But that's okay. That's why we're running it back in 5 minutes.
Right.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Brother, I need to eat.
Yeah. It sounds like both of our runners are looking to settle game 2 in a short while.
Run it back, baby.
Yeah, so we've got more Wind Waker HD action to look forward to, and another run with these two fantastic runners. And like, if the second race is anything like this first one, I am very excited. This was a treat to watch.
So, I guess I didn't really talk to Mason or figure out, is this second race going to be on ZSR, or are we getting booted?
I don't think we know yet.
That depends. That depends on. Are you guys commentating again for game 2?
I would be.
I'll
okay
commentate
with it,
game 2.
All right, then we'll have to head over to ZSR 2 because ZSR 1 is going to be in use, but we'll just have it on ZSR 2.
Awesome.
Okay. Do we have an approximate time for that?
Because
I think everybody could use a bit of a break.
So that depends on Alberto and Chroma. When do you want to start?
Let's do it.
I'm good whenever. I think Insom said he needs to eat, so like that's, if you can like give like 5 minutes to grab food, come back.
In the HD Rando server, it's, you guys said 2 hours.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Just
like 2. I think we're starting 2 hours after the first one starts. We're starting the next one.
Yeah, so that would be in 3 minutes.
Right.
So I'm good just to run it. So
I'm gonna run it back. Let's go, baby.
Okay, then we'll be back in like 15 minutes. 15 minutes on ZSR 2.
All right, sounds good.
Or like 10. We'll open the room and get everything going. And does that work for you, Insome Matrix and Mercury?
Yes.
So I'll have to find something quick, but that's all right.
All right. Then catch y'all on the flip side in a few minutes on ZSR 2.
Yep.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Bye.